Right now, somewhere in your brain, there's a region called the anterior cingulate cortex. Scientists discovered something shocking about this area. It lights up exactly the same way whether someone punches you in the face or simply refuses to look at you. Your brain cannot tell the difference between physical pain and being deliberately ignored. And someone close to you might be using this against you right now. Welcome to the neurological nightmare of the silent treatment. And by the end of this video, you'll understand why researchers at UCLA call it social pain, and why it might be the most effective psychological weapon ever created. In 2003, a team of neuroscientists led by Dr. Naomi Eisenberger did something cruel on purpose. They put volunteers into an fMRI machine and made them play a simple computer game called Cyberball. It's basically virtual catch. 3 players tossing a ball back and forth. But here's the twist. The other 2 players were actually programmed by the researchers. And halfway through the game, they stopped throwing the ball to the real person. They just excluded them. The results were disturbing. The moment those participants realized they were being ignored, their brain scans showed massive activation in the dorsal anterior cingulate cortex and the anterior insula. These are the exact same regions that fire when you experience physical pain. Think about that. Your brain processes social rejection using the same neural pathways as a broken bone. But it gets worse. Dr. Kipling Williams, a psychologist at Purdue University who spent over 20 years studying ostracism, discovered something even more chilling. Even when people knew they were being excluded by a computer program with no feelings, they still felt psychological pain. This isn't weakness. This is neurological hardwiring. Humans evolved in groups. Thousands of years ago, being excluded from your tribe meant death. So your brain treats social exclusion as a survival threat. And manipulators know this. They might not understand the neuroscience, but they understand the effect. Here's what makes the silent treatment such a perfect weapon of control. First, it's invisible. There are no bruises, no witnesses, no evidence. If you try to explain to someone that you're being hurt by silence, you sound dramatic. They won't talk to me doesn't carry the same weight as other forms of abuse. The abuser can easily deny it or flip the script. I was just busy, or you're being too sensitive. Second, it creates confusion. Unlike a direct insult or criticism, the silent treatment doesn't tell you what you did wrong. Your mind goes into overdrive trying to solve the puzzle. Research shows that victims spend an average of 4.5 hours daily ruminating, replaying conversations, trying to figure out what they did to deserve this. That's 4.5 hours of mental torture every single day. Third, it forces you to take responsibility. Here's the twisted psychology. When someone screams at you, you can see they have a problem. But when someone goes silent, you assume you must have done something terrible. You start apologizing for things you didn't do. You beg for communication. You promise to change. The power dynamic completely shifts. They control when you exist in their world. And fourth, it creates addiction. Yes, addiction. When they finally break the silence, the relief is so overwhelming that it creates what psychologists call intermittent reinforcement. It's the same mechanism that makes slot machines addictive. You never know when the reward is coming, so you become hypervigilant, walking on eggshells, constantly monitoring their mood. Your nervous system stays in a state of chronic stress. A longitudinal study tracking couples over 5 years found that people regularly subjected to the silent treatment showed a 31% greater decline in self-esteem compared to those in healthy relationships. 31%. Your sense of self quietly eroded. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. The punishment cycle. You have a disagreement. Maybe you expressed a boundary or said no to something. Suddenly, they stop responding to your messages. They look through you like you're invisible. Days pass. You panic. You apologize profusely. They finally acknowledge you again. You feel grateful for basic human communication. This is conditioning. You're being trained not to disagree. The control move. They explicitly link their silence to your behavior. I'm not speaking to you until you apologize. Or, when you're ready to admit you were wrong, I'll be here. Notice the manipulation? They're the ones refusing to communicate, but you're responsible for fixing it. The gaslighting combo. When you finally bring up how painful the silent treatment is, they deny it entirely. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just thinking. Or, you're being dramatic. I have a right to not talk. They make you question your own perception of reality. Researchers call this stonewalling, and Dr. John Gottman identified it as one of the 4 horsemen that predict divorce with over 90% accuracy. Here's what most people don't realize. The silent treatment isn't about conflict avoidance. It's not about needing space. It's about establishing dominance. It's about making you feel small. It's about teaching you that your needs don't matter. Studies in the Journal of Family Psychology found that individuals who regularly used the silent treatment scored 62% higher on measures of emotional dysregulation and manipulative behavior. This isn't healthy emotional processing. This is weaponized silence. Now here's the crucial distinction that might save your mental health. Healthy space versus the silent treatment. Healthy space is communicated. I'm feeling overwhelmed and need an hour to process this. Can we talk after dinner? Silent treatment is imposed without explanation. Healthy space has a time frame. Silent treatment is open-ended and indefinite. Healthy space is followed by re-engagement and actual conversation. Silent treatment only ends when you submit to their demands or apologize for existing. Healthy space respects both people. Silent treatment establishes a power hierarchy where one person controls the other's emotional state. Listen carefully. If someone cares about you, they will communicate their needs, even when they're upset. "I need some time" is vastly different from vanishing into hostile silence. About 85% of relationships include some withdrawal during conflict. That's normal, but only 15% display patterns of punitive silent treatment. If you're experiencing this regularly, you're not in the 85%. You're in the territory of emotional abuse. So what do you do if you recognize this pattern in your relationship? First, stop apologizing for things you didn't do. When someone uses silence as punishment, your instinct is to fix it immediately. Resist that urge. You cannot heal a relationship by yourself while the other person weaponizes their absence. Second, name it. Use clear boundaries. "I understand needing space, but completely ignoring me for days isn't acceptable. If you need time, please tell me that directly instead of using silence as punishment." Their reaction will tell you everything. A person who cares will adjust their behavior. A manipulator will escalate or turn it back on you. Third, maintain your reality. Keep a journal. Write down what happened and when. Silent treatment often comes with gaslighting where they later deny it happened. Documentation protects your sanity. Fourth, build external support. Manipulators isolate their targets. Maintain connections with friends, family, and potentially a therapist who can reflect reality back to you when you start doubting yourself. And finally, consider the relationship's viability. I'll be blunt. Chronic silent treatment rarely improves without professional intervention and genuine willingness to change. Ask yourself, does this person show consistent patterns of respect, or is their respect conditional on your compliance? You deserve to be treated with basic human dignity. This includes the fundamental right to be acknowledged rather than deliberately ignored. If you're the person using silent treatment, hear this. What you're doing causes measurable neurological pain. But there's hope. Learning to say, "I need a break right now," instead of disappearing into hostile silence, can transform your relationships. Here's what I need you to remember from this video. Your brain cannot distinguish between physical and social pain. When someone deliberately ignores you, your neural circuits scream, "danger," in the same language they use for broken bones. This isn't your weakness. This is your humanity. The silent treatment works because we're biologically wired for connection. Manipulators exploit this fundamental human need to establish control. But now you know the neuroscience. You understand the tactics. You see the difference between healthy space and weaponized silence. And that knowledge? That's your armor. Because the silent treatment only works when you believe you deserve it. You don't. If this video resonated with you, drop a comment with just the word "seen," because I promise you, you are. Subscribe for more dark psychology breakdowns. And remember, the most powerful thing you can do is refuse to shrink yourself for someone who uses silence as a weapon. They might not speak to you, but that says everything about them and nothing about your worth.